Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Sorry about that. No more cutoffs, no more calls. What's it called? Hopefully for the night. God willing. Anyhow, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So I was left off at Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. He said, as in Allah said, indeed I know what not you know to the angels, malaika. When the malaikas, peace be upon them too, were asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like they were kind of saying in the sense that, they were asking Allah, like, will you place in it one who's, who will spread corruption, as in the dunya, and will shed the blood while we glorify you with your praises and we sanctify you. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers back and says, to the malaikas, like, I know what you do not know. But I stopped off at, what does this mean? Like, what does a part of this perhaps mean? I know what not you know. A part of it is also showing his faith, okay, to the creation of, the fact that he is expert, he is wise, and he created Adam alayhi salam, and he created, this creation of insan and instilled, the ruh within them. And he taught even Adam alayhi salam that which he perhaps didn't even fully teach the malaikas. We see that when Adam alayhi salam was being taught, and then he was telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling Adam alayhi salam to go ahead and teach, or rather share to the angels what he had learned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala having taught Adam, okay, at that point. So as for to the details of how much the malaikas know, or how much Adam knows, or if there's any kind of like any creation knows more than the other, astaghfirullah, that's not the understanding of what we're trying to receive here. But peace be upon all the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he created, because he is expert, he is wise, he creates as he wills and he wishes, and he knows best as to why he created which one and what they're supposed to do, right? So all praises and all glory also be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for what he creates and what he knows. So anyhow, coming back, to perhaps the reason why he could have said that. Obviously, Allahu alam. But think about it. Now, he creates Adam, and he instills the ruh within him. And, he makes him a khalifa, okay, in the dunya, right? And now, obviously, if you think about insan, and you look at the history of insan as well, some people might say, okay, this is the jinn, because the jinn were created before, and the jinn are the ones that are creating transgression and bloodshed and everything like that. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also tells us there is shayateen within mankind and within jinn. So mankind and jinn both are able to transgress and are able to create bloodshed. Look at history. Wait, peace be upon you. Give me a sec. So both of us, mankind and jinn, are able to create transgression and bloodshed. So malaikas weren't too far off when they said that either the jinns, or referring to mankind, I'm definitely assuming that this is referring to mankind. If you look at mankind's history, we have terribly created transgression and bloodshed. But who is this referring to when he said, I know what you do not know? Aha! This is referring to his mu'minatis and his mu'mins, his believers, those whom will have free will, okay, and they will still come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will learn the system, the way, and they will incorporate it into their lives for obviously the only purpose we have, which is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not only because we're serving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but by enacting the system and the way that He taught us in the Al-Kitab, the Khalam Allah, right, in the Kitab, we will be having, inshallah, a beautiful life, inclusive to the tests. Even the tests, alhamdulillah, they teach us everything, right? They teach us the truth. Even though creations themselves, from the evil within, the creations themselves. So when we're asking in Surah Falak or Surah Nas, we're asking and seeking protection from the evil of the creations that He created. So He created the creations, but the creations themselves also have evil intentions of their own within themselves. So it's not like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala purposely created evil. Okay, but I won't even go into that. Sometimes He does what He does because He knows us to best as to why He does. It's because we ourselves, turn towards that direction, and He goes ahead and He allows us because we ourselves are deviating. Okay, so we're not going to get into that detailed topic, but we're going to just say that the creations themselves, inside, somewhere deep within them, they too have evil inclinations within them that they perhaps, didn't, realize or recognize that they themselves, are actually those who are capable of, like, so in the beginning of Surah Baqarah, when it says, not in the beginning, I think it was 102, not sure. Let's just go back. So when the creations are saying that, yes, we're out to reform and we're out to create peace and we're out to change things, but they themselves don't even realizing that they're spreading corruption and transgression and all that, right? But this is perhaps talking also or referring to the good that can come out of the creations that are those whom realize the beauty of the system of Allah, the way of Allah, the khalam Allah, with their logic and understanding, and they can create so much beauty and goodness with this. You understand? So such is the case with that, so in that essence we see that this is probably also part of it has to do with the movements and the mu'minatis, and the striving and the system and the goodness that can come out of it and the good things that they can do, because humans can, if they want to, they can do, not alone, but they can, with the teachings of Allah, do a lot of amazing things in this planet, like a lot of amazing things, and the amazing things, guess what, comes, the goodness comes from Allah, right? When we say that, who are we going to accredit good to? We can only accredit good to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So anything that comes from goodness is credited to Allah. Anything that comes from bad is actually from within us. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had faith in His mu'mins and His mu'minatis, and no matter what striving, no matter what tests we go through, no matter what happens, we're still going to be seeking the face of our Lord. We're still going to be saying Alhamdulillah. We're still going to be praising Him and sanctifying Him, because we have a choice. But guess what? The free will, this is what I was saying in Salah today. You know what the free will is? The free will is this. The free will is coming to Him and realizing that this is the purest form and the only form of free will that a creation can have. When they realize that this is free will. Even though you're doing ibadah, this is the greatest thing that any creation can do. And they choose it for themselves because this is the greatest of the goodness. And this is the expertise. This is the expertise of your Lord, whom had created such a system. So all praises be to him, and I'm sure the malaikas will agree too, indeed, to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to sanctify him and to give him his honor and his glory. And such hopefully is the truth. After that, Allahu alam, peace out for the night. And I guess I guess that's about it. These are my documents, like documentations. And I'm sorry I'm talking really weird, but I'm really happy about talking about the kalam of Allah and the faith that he had. Because without this faith, and without Allah being as Rahman and as Rahim he is, man, we would have been in a lot of trouble forever and ever and ever, that never and never and never stops. If there's a single person on this planet that comes across this broadcast and takes in anything of the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that come out of my mouth, and if there's any goodness that you receive, credit to Allah, but more than that, reflect and understand it, because guess what? It will only and only benefit you and me. Okay. Yep, that's about it. I guess it's a wrap. Okay, it's a wrap, and good night. Okay. I think I might come back for another broadcast, but I think I gotta cut it off right now. I got things to do, man. I got things to do. And that's it. Okay. So is there anything else I could talk about just from my ends? Give a little bit of my life and what's going on. Okay, so I gotta tell you something. Stress and pressure. Oh, let's talk about the hijrah. Hajj. I was always told something from somebody else's story multiple times. And in it, I used to hear from one of my dearest friends on the planet. They used to say, they're taking me out of my peace. I gotta get out of this. They're evicting me from my peace. And then I came across the Quranic ayat and I realized that's exactly why I left, because they were taking me out of my peace. So any place or anyone taking you out of your al-salam, your peace, make the move for Allah and keep moving until you find one single corner of this planet, even. Because Allah will ask you. He will ask you, was my dunya not big enough for you? Or in the other sense, did you not have enough faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, or believe that He indeed is capable of all things? How much do you have faith? No matter what happens, how much do you really have faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to believe that even if you are standing alone, you alone, that you are not alone, and you are never alone. You're never alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always there. Now, He is everywhere. Now, you can take it as in the terms of Him being able to see everything, whether it's through His own vision or His own perspective. Okay? You can't even imagine, or whether you're going to think it's through His record keepers, that He's always being informed, or whichever manner that you want to understand it in. But just to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always witnessing everything. And honestly, it really depends on how much faith you have. Your fate depends on your faith. There you go. You like that? Your faith depends, your fate depends on your faith. That's it. That's like a nice, that's a nice, like one-liner. Oh man, like anyhow. Yeah, I guess that's it. Good night. Peace out.